What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Killer Keemstar, and I'm here with...
Only use me, Blade.
And this is the Bad Kid Cast. And we are an audio cast, and we're available on iTunes, we're available on Android, and here on YouTube.
Bam.
Today's sponsor is you, the fans.
The viewer.
We just looked up our rankings on iTunes, and I think we're like number 58.
That's fucking cool, though. That's awesome.
It's cool, but I think you people on iTunes should put in good reviews, watch it twice, give it some love over on the iTunes land.
That's awesome.
I think it counts for Android too, or no, maybe it's just iTunes. I don't know.
Who knows? But yeah, whatever way you listen to us, via YouTube, via iTunes, Android, whatever, we love you. And we're here. Let's get it started. Can I start?
Go ahead.
So I got a job.
Oh, you got a job.
So quick synopsis: it is Tuesday night, right?
Yes.
Saturday, I went searching for a job on Craigslist.
Okay.
Sunday, I had an interview. Monday, I got the call back saying you're on. And Tuesday, tonight, was my first night. I am working as a doorman. I'm not bouncing, and that's prevalent to what I'm going to say. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to give a shout out to somebody, and they are the reason for me collecting myself while I was there.
Who?
White Boy.
White Boy 7th Street?
White Boy 7th Street. And he made me laugh and put it in perspective. Basically, I was sitting there, and as I was sitting there, I was thinking, this sucks. This job fucking blows.
Right.
I don't want to do it. There's got to be a better option than this.
Okay.
Because I've worked as a bouncer before in places. In much bigger places with a lot more action kind of going on. A lot more stuff to do. Okay? This is more focused on checking IDs and wiping down tables and cleaning.
Oh, they made you wipe down tables?
Yeah, that's the majority of the fucking job.
What?
Yeah. It's more focused on running a fucking, like, dishes and cleaning tables and checking IDs when people come in. It is not a bar where people go and get hammered, okay?
Wait, so this isn't like a nightclub type of thing where you're just standing in the door all night. They actually, like, have you in, like, being busboy and shit?
Yes.
Well, what the fuck? Quit.
Okay. Hear me out. So, like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, fuck this.
They're gonna pay you minimum wage, which is $7 an hour. You were there for like 4 hours. You're going to make about $29 or some shit like that.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that.
That's not right.
Okay, so also what made it more, first off, is that whenever you work as a bouncer or a doorman or whatever, you need to, besides just sit there, you should try to look busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And normally at my other jobs where I was a bouncer, it was very easy. There was always something for me to do. There's always some other entrance that I can go check. There's always something I can go do.
If you could do, how much time are you willing to do real work? How much time are you willing to put into real work?
What do you mean?
Like, you're looking for a job right now.
Yeah.
You're not looking for full time.
No, not full time.
How many hours a week are you looking for?
I don't know, 20, 30.
Well, if that's the case, then why don't you hook up with your roommate's cousin and just work there?
That is that's actually a good idea. My roommate's cousin works in collections.
Yeah, and he'll fucking have you in there in a hot minute.
That's actually a brilliant idea. So while I was at work, I was thinking okay, you know what? I'm just gonna walk out. Like that's what I was thinking. I was just gonna walk out because it was boring. Part of the fun about working as a bouncer is dealing with drunk people.
And there wasn't any drunk people?
There wasn't any drunk people.
So White Boy tweets and he saves you from leaving.
Yes. He tweeted, "Rage quit" in big capital letters. Like he made like a Call of Duty joke.
Yeah.
Because I talked about just leaving, right? And it kind of made me laugh and it kind of made me like, you know what? I'm here. Let me just do this shift. Let me look for something else.
So you got to go back on Saturday. Are you going to go back?
Yeah. I'm going to see what my options are, but I'm actually supposed to work tomorrow night as well.
Oh.
Like they're training me. But the thing that's kind of weird though is like when I went in, there's the other door guy that was there. He was like so-called training me. But once I talked to him, and once he realized that I had already done this for like 2.5, 3 years, he was like, it was easy at that point.
Well, okay, so the doorman that was training you, was he running around doing stupid shit?
Yeah.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah. So
it's set in stone. Like, you're gonna have to do some. You know what I want right now? Chicken wings. I would kill for some chicken wings.
let's go get some chicken wings.
Well, where are we gonna get chicken wings from? Nothing's fucking open. It's like 2:00 in the morning.
I know the place that serves chicken wings right now.
Yingadings?
Yingadings.
Yingadings. God, it's take forever though to get there, get the chicken wings.
We can do it after the show.
I fucking love chicken wings.
I love some chicken.
And
Chicken wings sound amazing right now, and it's open till 4, so we can figure it out. But
White. You know what? You might as well just thank White Boy right now because he listens to this cast.
yes, White Boy listens to the cast. No one would ever know it, but White Boy actually does listen to it. So,
Yo, I felt bad. Do you remember when we hammered White Boy in that one cast? We were like, here's the challenge. Like this video. We went hard.
yeah. So I'm not gonna just like walk off the job. That seems stupid. You know what I mean? But there's got to be better options out there. I'm not looking for full-time work. I'm just looking for something to get me out of the house, but that's not like I was so bored. I was so bored.
I have made so many people mad today. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick, but it was the greatest thing about how angry they were. Because you know what I mean when you're a troll and you can get like a ton of people really super angry about something that's stupid. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be happy if, like, let's say I got into a car accident and killed a kid and everyone was raging at me. I wouldn't be like, yay, look at these people are so mad. But the reason why these people were all so mad was so stupid. We fucking are changing Thrust into a knifing clan. And they were going ape shit. Just nonstop. Blah, 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 blah. Like,
well, okay, so I watched, like, when there was a time when I was, like, bored and I, like, snuck away and I was on YouTube and you put up a video.
Okay.
And in the video, it was on Thrust.
Yeah.
Okay. And in the video, you basically explained that the clan Thrust, Sniper Clan montages, they do similar things that Soar, that Obey, that Optic,
and FaZe
do,
yeah.
Right? So because they do these things, and even though it's built up in subscribers,
yeah,
and there's literally a video being put out every single day, and the videos that are getting put out take a long time to make. A montage at the level that Thrust does it,
yeah, takes
a lot longer than me busting out a commentary.
Thrust was putting out amazing montages. Amazing, right? Mm-hmm. All our players, our editors were awesome, top notch. But the problem is that subscribers don't give a fuck about Thrust. Because when they fucking check their inbox, they're already subbed to Obey, Soar, and FaZe. They're watching those videos before they watch ours, right? So even though people would stumble across the Thrust clan and hit subscribe because it put up 60,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
They weren't a reoccurring viewer. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. They fucking just would sub and that's it. They won't watch again. So we had 60,000 subscribers and we're getting 2,000 views per upload. And these motherfuckers are spending all this time. And I go, and Mela was like, I don't know if I should say this publicly. Nah, I'm good. He was thinking about leaving. And just like leaving it to me. But he also was thinking maybe I should just leave it to the players type of shit.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? I was like, wait a minute, you don't understand, dude. Like, I've spent thousands of dollars and promoted the hell out of this. You're not going to give my half away. So after talking about it, I developed a strategy that would really, really benefit a lot of people. I think it's good that we let our snipers go because they're awesome. They deserve better than what we have what we can provide at Thrust. And I think it's good to create an opportunity for knifers, you know?
Mm-hmm. So what I got from the video is, to emphasize what you just said, was that you know FaZe and Optic and all these guys.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
You know them. And so
like
you're basically having like an expansion draft and saying, hey, the people that are in our crew, we are going to let them go to other teams. and
Right.
they provide, they're great snipers and they're great editors. They can go to these.
Well,
to
we
these
need
teams.
the editors and we need the graphics teams for sure. You know what I mean? We don't want them to go. Some of them have gone because they feel like, we've betrayed the clan. And that's fine. But, the editors and the graphics people are most likely staying. And now I'm on the hunt to find, like, amazing knifers. And I've come across so many cool ones.
You got any people? Like, I know a lot of knifers.
I will see what I'm looking for is knifers that aren't, like, get feeds. Knifers that get trick shots. So I'm looking for the, like, guys that are sitting there fucking bouncing them off buildings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, this dude sent me a clip. He, just like FaZe would do it, or Thrust or anyone, he jumps off this fucking building, spins like 100 times, and bam. Like, dots the guy.
All
you know
right.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
awesome shit. Stuff that's like... And I know some people that are hardcore Call of Duty players, they'll be like, look, like, that doesn't take any skill, that's just luck. Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, it's awesome. He hit it. It was accomplished,
Yeah. I think that when people talk about stuff like that, because I'm not a trick shotter type of person.
I wish you'd try. Like, just fuck around for a day, see if you can get a clip. I think that would be awesome.
I'm just not good at the whole, like, spinning around thing, and, like, if I throw a tomahawk, I feel like, well, I could have
It's
used
not
that.
really... I don't think it's really like, oh, I'm not good at it. It's like, I've never tried to do that type of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I talked about it in commentary today. I was like, I'm a knifing tryhard. So, like, I can get, like, feeds. You know what I mean? Like, I've been experimenting around. Like, I've actually noticed myself, because I'm trying to, like, save up clips for a montage right now. Mm-hmm. Like, I've stopped playing Search and Destroy because I just want to go into games where I can, like, kill a lot of people. I've noticed that I've actually switched stuff up. Like, if I hit someone with the tomahawk, I'm going to want to try to hit 3 more people with the tomahawk instead of just knifing them, just to try to get it like a tomahawk feed.
Yeah.
I got a feed where it was a ballistic knife, it was a tomahawk, and it was a headshot from another ballistic knife, and then the actual just knifing motion. So all 4, it was a quad feed, and all 4 of the things in the quad feed were different variations of a knife.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But as far as like doing like...
And on the montage, you could see that like each weapon pop up. Like,
Yeah.
Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, like on the side,
Yeah.
That would be cool to set the montage up that way. So I've been meaning to ask you, like, and if you want to talk about it off air, that's fine. But I would like you to be involved in Thrust now more,
I thought I already was.
Well, yeah, but now that it's knifing, like, people are going to want to look up to you as a leader.
Well, I'm saving up clips for a montage.
All right.
And so when that one comes out, obviously I want to have it put out, but like, if that's what needs to go on Thrust, then yeah.
Yeah.
So, bam. Can I do you know about the dude that killed Trayvon Martin?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Have you seen what's kind of going on with this court case?
Well, the first thing, the prosecutor, like, his opening lines were, I hate these motherfuckers, they always fucking get away with this. And he,
Yeah.
like, swore, right? Like, that
Yeah.
was his opening statement.
But you know what was even better than that?
The knock-knock joke?
The knock-knock joke. All right, for whatever reason, okay. So I read about this and like looked into this. What he was referring to was an old joke from O.J. Simpson, the O.J. Simpson trial.
Okay.
The reason why we're in the O.J. Simpson trial, the problem that they had was they thought that they couldn't get anybody in the juror. They couldn't find a juror that didn't know who O.J. Simpson was.
Yeah.
So he goes, the joke was, it wasn't a joke that happened in the trial, but it's like, knock, knock, who's there? O.J. Simpson. If they say O.J. Simpson who, bam, you're on the trial.
Yeah, like...
Because you don't know who he is, so now you're in the juror.
And the thing with the Trayvon Martin, or whatever, I can never say this.
Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon Martin. The thing with him is that everybody knows this news story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he said, and I can't think of the name of the defendant right now. I'm running a blank here. But with the defendant, like, they were like, knock, knock, who? And the jury just sat there like, what is going on? Like, they didn't get the joke.
Why is this dude? I would be so mortified. If I was, what the fuck is his name? What is his name?
I don't know. Are you talking about the attorney?
No, not the attorney, the defendant.
The defendant. I can't think of his name.
Zimmerman.
Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I was Zimmerman and I was on trial, right, and my lawyer went up and told. First off, he swore in the beginning, which is like you don't. do that.
No, he didn't swear. It was the prosecutor.
Oh, the prosecutor. Okay, but for his lawyer to go. To tell a fucking knock joke?
Yo, okay.
Get out of here!
So let me set
lawyer!
If you don't know this story, right, let me set it up for you, right? The defense and the prosecutor has their opening statements, right? So the prosecutor goes up and he's like, motherfucker, these motherfucking punks always get away. That's the first thing he says. And he goes, that was the fucking exact thing that Zimmerman said in the 911 call. Yeah. And then he goes through and says his opening speech, right? Then the defense gets up, right? After that, after how serious shit just got, right? The defense gets up and he goes, knock, knock. And nobody says anything. And he goes, who's there? And he goes,
in joke mode when you're a juror for a murder case?
And he goes, Zimmerman. And fucking, there's just like this weird, awkward silence. And he goes, okay. That was funny. Yeah. You know that was funny.
No, he goes, what? Nothing? Like he expected what did he expect? Like a round of applause? Yeah. Like a laugh or something?
You're at a fucking murder trial. Zimmerman had been sweating balls. Yo, can you believe how fat that dude got?
No, I know what it is.
He was skinny
I know
as
what
hell.
It is, okay.
Stress?
Hell yeah. What is more stressful than going through a murder trial?
He is double the weight that he was when this incident happened.
Okay.
Double.
But think about it. What is more stressful than a murder trial? What can you possibly come up with that is more stressful than you being tried for murder?
Being tortured?
That's not more That's not more stressful.
Yes, it is.
That's not more stressful.
How is it not more stressful?
Being tortured might be not as fun. No, I don't want to say fun, but like not.
Oh my God, you can't argue that. Being tortured is the most stressful thing in the fucking world.
That's not stressful, though.
How is that not stressful?
What do you mean?
You don't even know what's going to happen next. He's going to come in and cut off your balls. You have no idea what this fucking dude's going to do. He's fucking torturing you. He could fucking shock you in the face with a goddamn shocker.
Whatever. Being on trial for murder has got to be the most stressful thing in the world, or one of the most stressful things.
Except for torturing.
It's not the same, though.
It is the fucking same.
Okay, it's a worse feeling, but I don't think torture is the appropriate stressful. I don't think stressful is the appropriate term for it. Painful might be, because here's the thing: when you're stressed the fuck out.
I don't know why we're arguing about
No,
this.
hear me out.
Right.
If I'm stressed the fuck out, right?
Okay.
Like extremely stressed.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people when they're extremely stressed, they eat.
Okay.
You ever heard the term "eat your feelings"?
Yes.
They eat, okay? So he's probably extremely stressed. He's in jail, and he's probably eating up a storm and not exercising. Maybe the only exercise he gets is just pacing back and forth. Who knows? Did he ever have any drug use history?
I don't know. I don't think so, because he was like, he wanted to be a cop and shit.
Okay. I don't know. Or maybe he's just like, you know what? I know I'm going to go away for murder. So
why can't I think of Zimmerman's first name? This is so ridiculous. George Zimmerman. Yeah, George. Yeah.
So to open with the, what is going through this dude's? You know what I thought of when I heard about this?
What?
When I heard about this, have you ever seen the movie My Cousin Vinny?
Oh yeah.
Okay. When the defense attorney that stuttered got up and talked to the jurors. That's how I felt.
I don't remember that part.
That's one of the best parts of the movie.
Was that like the first attorney?
Yeah, his first attorney. Oh. Yeah. Like, remember how in My Cousin Vinny, there's two dudes that are on trial?
Right.
The Karate Kid and then another dude?
Yeah.
Well, the other dude's first attorney was this dude that literally had a speech impediment. He stuttered. So when he goes up and talks to the jurors, like all quiet, and he starts talking, he goes like that, like stutters, and it's... If you stutter, I'm sorry, but it was funny. Like it's hilarious. It's one of the most funniest scenes ever. So that's how I felt for George Zimmerman. I don't really feel for the guy, you know.
Yeah.
But I think what's crazy is that you might not know anything really about the case with this guy.
I know enough about it, but yeah.
Okay, so in the court of public opinion, he's guilty, right?
Yeah. Well. Not really. George Zimmerman, like right after it happened, this dude raised like $500,000 or maybe $1 million. I don't know. It was a huge amount of money. People were just sending him money because a lot of people think that he's innocent. Basically, this is the story, right? Mm-hmm. George Zimmerman lives in this neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
Sees a fucking black guy walking around.
Yeah.
All right. Now, lately, there's been a lot of people like breaking in and stealing stuff in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So George Zimmerman sees this black kid walking around in this neighborhood that he's not supposed to be in or whatever. And he's like, okay, I don't know this guy. I'm going to call 911 and let him know that there's a stranger in our neighborhood walking around. So George Zimmerman doesn't want to lose track with him, so he starts like kind of like following, you know, as he's walking away. And the 911 person's like, don't follow him. We'll get him.
Take care of it.
All right.
Okay.
Call ends. Next thing you know, cops get there. The kid's dead. George Zimmerman has like a broken nose and a bunch of like bumps on his head. Now,
okay.
So what George Zimmerman's saying is he started beating me up. I have a gun on me. He tried to go for the gun, so I had to kill him. So the cops don't arrest George Zimmerman because it's self-defense.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. And
that's the end of it. Until like a couple weeks later, it starts hitting public news, and then people are demanding that the guy gets arrested and gets charged for murder. And then eventually, you know, a politician that wants to get their name out there, or not a politician, but
like a police chief.
like a DA wants to get their name out there, she files charges and has him arrested for murder.
That's crazy. But originally, there was no. It was just.
There was no qualms.
Open shut case. Huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And the problem is that even though that Trayvon Martin or whatever was like a 17-year-old kid,
yeah,
he was like huge. You know what I mean? He was like super tall. Like you wouldn't know that he was a kid in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So
well, here's what I'm wondering though. I want to look into this case a little bit more. Obviously, I will never know what actually happened because I was not there. Okay, but if the situation happened like you said it, when something like that happens and it's like an open and shut case, they don't look into it as toughly. You know, they don't look into it as earnestly as, you know, because it's like a simple murder. Like if someone came into my house and I killed them, they wouldn't like dust for prints. They would just be like, okay, this is what happened. Bam, done.
Here's the problem though. Here's the problem that I have.
Okay.
All right. The dude calls 911.
Yeah.
I don't think after he called 911. He just ran up to the dude and shot him. Yeah. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's either brilliant or idiotic. One of the two.
Like,
it has to be on one of those two ranges.
He calls 911. He asks for the cops to come. Strange person in their fucking town, right? Hangs up, goes over and shoots him a couple times, and then fucking punches himself in the face and breaks his own nose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the problem. I don't...
Oh my...
I know some people are going to go ape shit because it's a popular thing to think that, you know, that this poor innocent black kid got killed. But I don't see the logic in what happened the way you see it. Yeah. I see it more like as the cops that originally were there saw it. Like, this is probably self-defense.
And I don't know why it's a race thing. I understand that it's a different skin color.
Yo, I think it's hilarious that they try to make it a race thing because the motherfucker is like Hispanic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's not white.
Oh, okay.
I think it's funny that they try to make it a race thing. It's like, okay, dude's not white.
I have to preface this. Okay? Their violence. Okay, let's talk about violence for a second. Okay.
Their violence?
No, I'm just talking about violence in general. Okay.
Their violence. He said their.
No, I didn't say they're like owning the violence or whatever.
You people, what do you mean by you
shut
people?
up. Anyways, violence, right? If violence is sometimes necessary in this world.
Yes. Violence.
I'd say about 2/3 of the violence that happened isn't really necessary, but there's times.
Most of the time, violence is necessary to defeat violence.
Okay. But there was a video that you linked out today on Twitter that pissed me the fuck off.
I gotta give credit where credit's due. Fisticuffs tweeted it to me. I tweeted it out, and then you tweeted it. Yes. So Fisticuffs is the originator.
Okay. So what it was there's a dude. Don't let me. There's just a dude. That big dude goes into a house, breaks into a house.
Yep.
And beats the shit out of this mom.
Young mother.
Young mother.
She has like a 2-year-old.
In front of her 2-year-old. Go ahead.
She has like a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. 1-year-old's up sleeping. 2-year-old's like right there. Mm-hmm. And he just goes in and starts beating the crap out of her. I'm not talking about like punched her a couple times. I'm talking about like punching her, kicking her, throwing her around the room.
Hitting her like she was a dude and trying to kill him.
Like as hard as he possibly could. His final move was he opened like the basement stairs and like
threw her down the stairs.
Threw her down the stairs.
If someone, I feel like when it comes to like, that's just unwarranted. That's just so unbelievably shitty.
But we didn't say what the killer or what the bad guy looked like. Did you?
I purposely said that.
Yeah, I thought you did. I thought you did.
Because
so go ahead.
Here's the thing. I don't care if the person happens to be white, Mexican, Jewish, Asian, anything. I don't care what that person is. That person is a piece of shit. Now, this particular piece of shit happened to be black, but it doesn't matter. He happened to be black. It doesn't matter what the type of person he was. That's why I didn't want to preference what his skin color was.
That is the reason why there's so much racism, though. You know what I know? Honestly, that is the reason.
Why? A white dude's never done that? A
white dude has done that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the reason why there's so much racism is because of shit like that. People get fucking angry, and stupid people, like after 9/11, what did everyone want to do? Americans were like, let's go find Muslim people and beat them up. There are Indian people that are not Muslim whatsoever, but they look like they're Muslim, and they got fucking beat up by fucking stupid people.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is stupidity, like that guy going in and beating up a girl, means more stupid people are going to be racist.
Yeah. That's why I didn't even want to mention the person's nationality or skin color or whatever.
Right now, there's someone fucking watching this video or listening to this on YouTube that's probably typing a comment that's like, F you, N-bomb. You know, like, that is the reason, the biggest reason why, you know? Groups of people get stereotypes because it's a fucking stereotype.
Oh, listen to this shit. This is crazy. So, remember the Paula Deen, the racist cook or whatever?
Yes.
Okay, so after all this backlash against Paula Deen, apparently some restaurants in the South that she like worked at or whatever, or like managed, like quadrupled in business.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
Like everybody and their sister wants to eat at her restaurants now, and this is why. Do you know that she said the N-word because someone had a gun up to her head and was trying to rob her?
What?
Okay, so in this lawsuit, right? You know how I told you it was like a deposition?
Yeah.
Somebody asked her, like they asked her, have you ever used the N-word? And she replied, yes, I have.
Okay.
And they go, what was the situation? She was like, had a pistol up to my head, I was being robbed at gunpoint, and I called him an N-bomb. And that's...
I'm sorry for laughing,
but that's why they're holding it against her. That's why so many people are like trying to defend her, because they're like, this fucking dude tried to, you know what I mean? Like,
you can't. Okay, if someone holds a gun to my head,
you can call them
whatever they want. And if you're mad at me for that, fuck off. Period. If you're mad at me for saying that because the person has a gun to my head, first off, she's got some balls to say that to someone with because someone has a gun to my head. I'm like, how are you feeling? What can I do for you? You know what I mean? Like, for real. Like, if someone has a gun to my head, I'm just like, what can I do for you? How can I make your life better right now? I'm team you.
I hope I have that story 100% correct.
I hope you do too.
But I think that's pretty much how it played out. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But that's what I heard on Young Turk.
That's crazy. I thought the whole thing is that she wanted to have a wedding.
That was another situation.
Oh, so there was
like a bunch of stuff. They're like, have you ever used the N-word? And she was like, yeah, this guy tried to rob me. He happened to be black. And I said, hey, what the hell are you doing?
She needs to get tried as a man. She's got big ass balls.
God damn. And then they were like, is it true that you want to have a dinner party? And okay, now defense to that, she wanted to, I was wrong. It's not like she wanted to, like, you know, be prejudiced and have
like slaves or
something?
Okay.
Like there were actually black people invited to the wedding. What she wanted to do is have a wedding set in a time period when there were slaves, which is still fucked up, but not as bad as just like straight up wanting to have slave service.
All right, man. So I got to find this article.
And somebody made the argument to defend her. They were like, look, that might be fucking like ridiculous that she wants to do that, but at the end of the day, like, they weren't slaves. She was going to pay them, so she was employing black people. So she really can't be like 100% racist. Like, she can't, like, you know what I mean? A real racist would be like, I don't want no black people working for me. You know what I mean? They wouldn't pay them.
So,
a real diehard racist would not employ black people.
I was really stoned one night, right? And I was watching like Discovery or History or some shit like that, right?
All right.
And this was hilarious. It was about the whole Jim Crow thing and about racism and slavery and all that kind of stuff, right?
Oh, there's a story I need to fucking. You just reminded me. They thought that they found Jimmy Hoffa, and I never found out if they found him.
Let me explain this.
Go ahead.
So literally, there was a group. There's a bunch of black people, right? And they formed this thing where they're gonna have a big meeting and they're gonna have a big revolution movement, and they call it's like free black people, right?
Okay.
Now, all of these farmers got the wrong information, and they thought when they were going to it that it was literally free black people. Not free them, like let them go, but like you don't have to pay for these ones. They're free.
What?
Come and pick them up.
What?
So all of these white farmer dudes, like
Where was this advertised at?
This was in the South in like old days, like
back
in the day. This wasn't recent. No, this wasn't recent. So
this happened in America.
On the Telegram, like on the wire, Telegram wire, all these things about this big, huge. They're like the biggest meetup ever. Free black people, and they took it as, oh, we got some freebies,
free slaves,
So
they all rushed down there for free slaves.
And it was, and the black people that like combined together, like some of them had been slaves at one point or whatever. Like they combined together, they're like, that's amazing that you want to support this cause. And they're like, who do we get to pick? How do we pick?
Oh
and
my
they're
God.
like, pick what? What are you talking about? Pick? And they're like, where's the? Sorry for saying this, but this is how they said it. Like, where are the free niggers? Like that's how they thought. You know, and just super big misunderstanding.
Oh my God!
Isn't that the fucking funniest
thing
ever?
But actually, it probably worked out because they were able to get their message out.
Yeah, I mean they got their message out, but the farmers and all the people that wanted free slaves didn't get it, so they're like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." But think about it, this is back in the day when everything was like by wiretap. Like they send the signal out.
If this happened, you would have to know your time period. What time period was it? Was it before the Civil War or after the Civil War?
I don't remember.
Well, that's very important because
I don't know. I thought it was a fucking funny story.
If slavery was going on at that time, and the people are like these black people banded together, they probably were free slaves. So I would have been scared as hell that they would have got taken in or something or kidnapped. I don't know. That's fucked up. Do you know the town I grew up in had an underground railroad?
Right on.
That's pretty cool. Like one of the first things I saw when I was younger is we went to this house and it had like all this hidden compartments where they used to hide black people so they could get up to Canada where they'd be free. Yeah.
What I think is shitty is a small form of racism actually still exists. Whether you like it or not, you could be a black person, and you could be a doctor, and your wife could be a lawyer.
Okay.
And you could have beautiful, well-adjusted kids, right?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of times they try to move into these nice communities. And a lot of communities have a council. And the council literally is everyone that lives in the community is like on the town council, right?
Right.
And they get to like interview and decide if they want people that move into the community.
Right.
Okay. My parents lived for a little bit. They lived in a retirement community, and whenever people would come in, they could like interview them to see if it was like if they thought they'd be a good fit for the neighborhood.
Right.
Okay. Back in the day when I lived in the house that I threw the party in or whatever, it was my stepdad, and I don't give a fuck about this. Like fuck him. They literally were having like our barbecue or whatever, and we're cooking, and they were talking, and one person's like, his name is Richard, right? Like, Richard, do you know that we actually had a black family try to move in here? And they all started laughing.
What?
Yeah. They all like started like they thought it was like the funniest thing ever that someone had like a
That
black,
is so
like
fucking wrong.
that a black family had the audacity to move into the neighborhood. You know, that's true shit. True shit.
It's just so fucked up.
But how can that
As
how,
much as
how
I
can
wa-
that be? Like if you have a community, you get to choose who lives in your community.
Yeah, that really is real.
That's a current thing.
Yeah, that's they have to prove. Yeah, some people are like that. Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's so fucked up. I don't mean to laugh, but
Super fucked up.
it's, you know what's weird though? If you talk to poor people,
Yeah.
no matter who they are, right? You talk to a poor white dude, he's going, yeah, you know, he's got the slang and he doesn't talk right.
Yeah.
Talk to a poor black person, the same thing, poor Mexican, everything, right? Every race. But then if you talk to an intelligent, right, wealthier people, right, it doesn't matter what race they are, they all sound the same, at the same.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So as much as we talk about racism and stuff like that, you know, I think it's really pretty much how you act, how you carry yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you grow up in a poor neighborhood and you use a lot of slang and you go out in the real world and try to communicate with police officers or
It doesn't work.
whoever
Yeah.
using that slang and talking like that, they're profiling. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, okay, this dude is, you know, a fucking criminal, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. A hoodlum.
If it's yes sir, no sir, and no slang, no bullshit, then, you know, you have a
Oh,
better
a lot
chance.
of people thought that I was like black by how I talked, but when any situation where I have to deal with an officer, I am the whitest person you know. You know what I mean? And it's not a race thing. It's just like I'm very polite. I'm not like over the top, like yes sir, no sir, like that kind of shit. You know what I mean? But like I'm just trying not to bother them. You know what I mean?
Right. But yeah, I think that's a lot of it too. How do we get talking about race?
Because we talked about George Zimmerman and
yeah,
moved on from there. Yeah.
Oh, another issue that's in the news about race is they're thinking about removing affirmative action.
Quickly say how affirmative action is set up right now.
Okay, affirmative action is...
Like, what's the current state of affirmative action?
Okay, affirmative action allows black students to get in colleges before white students, even though they have lower grades. So let's say there's a college and your score has to be 10 to get in, right?
Yeah.
These white kids, they have a score of like 8. These black kids have a score of like 4. Black kids get in. White kids can't get in unless they have a score of 9.
I thought affirmative action was that you had to have a certain percentage of nationality or whatever in...
No, it allows black kids to get in with lower grades.
What about Latinos?
And it also allows, I think, Latinos too. Pretty much all minorities. I don't know. I think it's just black people, but I don't know.
Okay.
So then also once you get into the college, you get like free money. You get to go to college for free pretty much if you're a minority. So it's like a big hang up. And the reason why it was created was because, you know, the black communities were so poor that it was just creating, you know, I don't know.
Like they felt like it was impossible for them to go to college?
It was impossible for people to get ahead. You know what I mean? It was just
Yeah.
like criminals were making more criminals and making more criminals. Not that they're criminals, but, you know, in poor communities, there's a lot of crime. There weren't a lot of people coming out. So that's when they came up with affirmative
I
action.
mean, a lot of crime that happens in lower income communities it's not because they're like bad people. It's just that they feel like they're in a position where they can't do anything but that.
That's what they know. So basically what happened is this girl, little ginger girl, she tried to get into a college. She didn't get in, but all these black kids with lower grades got in. So she sued the college, and now it's going to the Supreme Court. And they're going to find out if affirmative action is legal or not. I never understood that, right?
Why can't we just look at,
This is what
That's
I don't
shitty,
understand.
yeah.
I understand why they had affirmative action, and many of my thought processes, I agree with that 100%. But here's the problem: affirmative action saying that because the color of your skin, you can get in with a lower grade is the definition of racism and prejudice.
Yep.
So that's the big hang up. The thing that we're trying to avoid, we're reinforcing when certain groups of people have more privileges than others.
I think it kind of goes along the same thing, and I hate to even compare the two, like racism versus like feminism. But
we totally need to have like a fucking black guest on here.
I think we should just have a guest if they have to be black.
Well, no, what I'm saying is someone not just a black guest, but somebody that is kind of like in the human rights type of thing, you know, people's rights.
Okay, I'm down.
Because those motherfuckers will have different opinions than us all day long.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're not being ignorant. I think that we're approaching it. I don't want to say from a sensitive standpoint, but I think we're approaching it from a thoughtful standpoint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's always interesting though. Like, do we want it to be that, hey, you've been treated badly, so now we're going to treat you extra good to make up for it? Or do we want to treat everyone fair and equal and then judge you as a person and not judge you as a black person? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, like what Martin Luther King said, you know? People will be judged on their character, not on the color of their skin. I think that's important.
I think that's super important, but I feel that a lot of people think that it kind of goes along the way, like just like you said, by doing something like affirmative action, when you really break it down, is kind of racist in a way.
It is,
because what you're doing is you're basically saying, you know, we're gonna take this person, we're gonna treat them differently. Now, what's happening now, though, we're treating them differently in a positive aspect than we are treating them differently in a negative aspect. Do we need to treat white people negatively to make up for it? Like, do two wrongs make a right? I don't think so.
But again, at the same time, when, you know, everyone was free and, you know, human rights came in and all that. I keep on saying human rights, and that's not the correct term. It's social rights. I don't know why I can't think of it. My brain is fucked tonight. But what
it's this damn humidity, man.
Martin Luther King fought for
equal rights.
Equal rights. That's still not the right word, but whatever. Equal rights. And affirmative action is against it. But again, at the same time, I understand it.
Yeah.
I understand what they were trying to do, but, you know, I don't know.
I just don't like this whole idea. And also, I know how we call them minorities, but Caucasian people are becoming a minority.
Yeah, I think we are.
Yeah, I don't think... I mean, I know this isn't something that people are like fighting over, like what they want to be called. Like,
well, technically,
we're not the majority anymore. So aren't we the minority then?
No, I think we are the majority, but there's more minorities than the majority. Period. You know what I mean? Like, if you take all the minorities and put them together, there's more of them than there are.
So you take all the teams, they are together. They're bigger, as if we were comparing the other teams to white people.
The other thing that really makes me mad about race is like, they're able to just say, like, white people. But there's Italian people. There's fucking French people. I don't understand why that's a big group. You know what I mean? I don't understand why. Because fucking white people do not look the same. You take a ginger person, right? Yeah. And you compare it to an Italian person. That is not the same fucking race. But, you know, it's just white.
Yeah.
That always confused the fuck out of me, too.
I don't know. Like, it's...
In Dominican people, how the fuck do you tell if someone's Dominican? There is no possible way. Dominican people look nothing alike. I swear to God.
Dominican and Cuban people confuse me. I always and that's like apparently that's like a no-no to get those mixed up. I'm sorry.
Like Dominican people can look black. They can look Mexican,
I like
Hispanic.
I like how they took like 6 different little cultures, 6 different races, and they just called them Latino. You know what I mean? Like it all falls underneath this thing where they're Latino.
Well, that's the same thing that they did with white.
So there you go. There's probably 6 different types of black.
And the same type of thing that they did with Asian, too.
But now that we're getting into the situation, everyone's mixing with everybody. There's some crazy crossbreeds. Like, I feel like, I hate to compare humans to, like, crazy strands of weed, but, like, everyone is fucking everyone, and we're, like, it doesn't, like, it's not weird to see a person that's black with an Italian. It's not weird to see...
you want to hear something crazy, though?
What?
All right, so remember when I explained to you that all dogs came from wolves?
Yeah.
All right, and maybe if you're new to the cast, but let me explain this real
That was
quick.
a long time ago, yeah.
Let me explain this real quick. All right, so every dog that there is, the dogs that you have, the dogs that your neighbors have, friends, whatever, all right, they originated from the wolf. And the reason why we have all these different breeds of dogs now is because humans tampered with the wolf. We domesticated it. We bred it together, like white ones with white ones to create white wolves. And then from there, small ones with small ones to get them smaller. And we've done all these different breeding over the last 2,000 years. And we've been able to create all these different animals, right? Now, what would happen if you took all the different breeds of dogs that we had together, or today, and you just let them start breeding with each other? Over time, you'd originally get back to the wolf, wouldn't you?
No. I see what you're doing there, but no. Just no.
Why?
Because it's not going to, like, form back. Okay, so that's the same idea. Like, if we came from monkeys and now we're letting everyone fuck, are we going to eventually turn back into monkeys?
That's why I brought up the idea.
That's why you brought up the idea?
That's why I brought up the idea.
That the human species is going to go from when originally it came from monkeys. I'm sorry, religious people.
I don't think it came from monkeys, but
Well,
go ahead.
It came from primates, okay?
I don't think that.
It makes the most sense.
It does make a lot of sense
and
that it could.
It's from science and it's been proven. So
it's not been proven, but I personally do not believe that we came from monkeys. But I think that is more possible than fucking Adam and Steve.
Okay, so based on Adam and Steve, based on
I threw a curveball.
I heard you there. So based on the idea that that humans evolved from primates into humans, right? So you're saying because all the different types of humans originally came from primates, that we could possibly, because now we're breaking down the race barrier and Dominicans are fucking Italians.
This is what I'm saying.
All this stuff eventually it's gonna hourglass back down to we're gonna become primates again because
I don't think
wolves.
But here's the thing:
wolves were dogs, so now the dogs are gonna fuck each other.
Here's
so now
the
we're gonna
thing:
become wolves again.
this is what I think.
That's insane.
This is what I think because we're all breeding with all these different races, and because we have the melting pot. I think we're gonna come to a point where we get to see the original human.
I don't think.
I think we're going to get back to the original human.
I don't think so.
I do. I think taking all these different strands and these different variations of DNA and combining them together brings you back to the source.
But I look at it like this: you ever go to a fast food place and just take your cup and get every single one of those little bits of soda?
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
Yeah.
So I don't want that.
Well, that's the thing, though. That was the original Coca-Cola, or the original was like Dr. Pepper, right? It was like every Dr. Pepper's like every flavor.
Dude, I literally thought about this today, and I was thinking, I was like, you know how we have an ecosystem where we have, we have humans, we have animals.
Yeah. Just
the same way we look at we're the majority, then animals are the minority, even though animals are way bigger than us.
Right.
Which that's a crazy correlation there. Anyways, I was thinking, I was like, what is a species that we don't need? And you know what the first species that I came up with that really the Earth doesn't need is fucking humans.
Yeah.
Humans, really. The way that LA people and New York people are to the rest of the world is the way that America is to the rest of the world, like so on and so forth, right?
I can solve that theory in 2 seconds.
Go for it.
You just said that the world does not need humans.
Yep.
Okay. Now, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Let's say a meteor is going to hit Earth and kill everybody, and every animal there is. What animal can save the world? The only one is humans.
How? But why? Okay, that's just because you're team human.
That's
because you're team human, though.
I'm just saying, no giraffe out there is going to build a fucking spaceship with a nuke on it to fly it into the asteroid.
What humans going to do that though?
Us. You think that the human isn't important? We're the only ones that can save the fucking planet.
I bet giraffes are walking around like, we got this. I bet giraffes think they're the shit.
Giraffes start fucking, okay, this is what they do with the dog. They did strands. What we're going to do is we're going to find the tallest giraffes, and we're going to breed them together to eventually our fucking necks are so fucking tall that we can deflect the fucking asteroid before it hits planet Earth.
You've just been a human too damn long. You just think you're the shit. That's what's going on right now. You've been a human so long that you're not trying to see it from the point of view of the giraffes or the pandas or none of those people. They probably think they're the shit. So they're probably looking at us humans like we're retarded. So you're team human and you just think that we are the best.
No, what I'm saying is...
Do you think that New Yorkers are the best people in the United States?
Here's what I think. All animals, all plants, right? The only reason why they're even around today is because they were able to adapt to their situation. Now, the thing that can adapt to all situations better than anyone is humans. We are the number one when it comes to adapting to our environment. We are.
No.
And that's why we've become so successful on this earth as a life form.
You know why I say no? You know why I say no? Because us humans, we are the newcomers on the block. In the whole grand scheme of things, we are new to this earth thing. Okay? We are new. In the whole scheme of things, there have been fucking bears for fucking probably a million years before humans.
Okay, well, you don't know that, but go ahead.
You know what? I do not know that. But I'm just saying, though, like, in the whole grand scheme of things about how old Earth actually is, Earth wasn't created 2,000 years ago. Sorry to burst your bubble.
No, they found civilizations that are like 17,000 years old.
Okay.
So we already know humans have been here for a long time.
I understand that, but the fucking dinosaurs were here a lot longer than them. Those are the OGs. Humans are like the fucking people that just got their PVRs.
How are dinosaurs
Humans
OGs?
just got their PVRs.
OGs. How are they OGs? Dinosaurs
Because
are not alive. They didn't make it. There's no gangster in a fucking dinosaur.
Well, you know what, though?
You're a bitch. The only laying in the ground. We fucking picking up your dead corpses and putting you in museums.
What's the longest living
Little kids are spitting at you.
What species?
Fuck you, dinosaurs.
Okay, my question is this. What species lives the longest?
I don't know.
What species live? Because there's fucking bugs that live like 6 hours. You know what I mean?
Like what species? I think probably like a tree. Some trees can live to like thousands of years old.
But is a tree really? Does that really count?
Well, you're talking about an animal then?
Yeah. Species. Is trees not a species?
I think like a turtle. Turtles can live like to 200 years and shit.
Okay. But there's nothing living like 7,000 years.
No.
Would you want to live 7,000 years?
I'd want to live forever, yeah.
See, I don't want to talk about this because this is like the only fear I have.
Here's the thing.
Would you get bored?
Well, I don't know what's to come.
Yeah.
I don't know if, bam, the memory in my brain is gone, over with, and that's it. I don't know if I'm going to fucking wake up, I'm going to walk away from my video game console and be like, wow, that game of fucking life on Earth was awesome, dude. You need to get it.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
Like, I don't know what this is. No one does. So what I would do, logically, I would be like, I do know what this thing is right here. I do know that this is a fucking microphone. We're doing a podcast. I'm going to stick with what I know, and I'm going to fucking live forever. That's what I do.
Yeah, I think naturally as humans, I'm just speaking for humans, that our natural thing is that we want to survive.
But it would have to be...
Isn't it that we want to survive?
There would be requirements, though. You know, if I'm going to live forever, I don't want to fucking just keep on getting older and older and older, but still living. I'm eventually walking around like as a skeleton, but alive. That'd be a little fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd have to, like, stop growing and aging right now.
It's true. That's crazy.
Have to be on that vampire shit.
You know what, though? I've never seen the movie Benjamin Button.
Oh, my God. That video is so sad.
That video?
Yeah, well, the movie.
I've never seen it yet. That, and the concept of it always interests me.
You don't want to watch it because it's, like, it's sad. There's no way... The dude dies, but he dies by going backwards. He's born like a fucking old man. And he ages backwards compared to other people.
Yeah, I know the premise of it.
So you get to the final scene, right? And I'm not ruining the story because anyone would know this, right?
Yeah.
Get to the final scene. His wife is like 90. He is an infant. And they both die at the same time.
Fucking pedophile.
Well, that's so fucked up, though. No one's going to want to live like that.
Yeah, that's true.
And here's the thing with Benjamin Button. It doesn't make any sense, right? Because he would be able to retain all this knowledge. What does he get stupid? Does he like start off a genius?
But that's what I'm saying though. Like,
it doesn't make any sense.
Is he like 90 years old, or I don't know how old he is when he starts?
Yeah.
Okay, does it start as he's a baby, he reaches 45 and then he starts going back down? Or he starts out at 90?
No,
he comes out the womb a 90-year-old dude?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to have to check
That's
it.
why the movie doesn't make sense, because he would have to come out of the womb with a lifetime of knowledge.
Yeah.
And then get stupider. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't make any sense to me. Otherwise, in the very end, when he becomes a baby, he would be so intelligent that he'd be like, he wouldn't need
Knock
to
us
fucking
off,
diapers and shit,
Yeah.
you know?
I know not to shit on myself. I am 90. I'm a 90-year-old baby.
Yeah, so that's where it was like extremely weird. And we're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
First break.
What is up? We are back.
Are we recording?
We are recording.
Bam. I am super excited to re-listen to this podcast. Like there's sometimes we do podcasts and I think they're always good. I always have my stamp of approval on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, real quick, let me remind everybody that if you're watching us on iTunes, to give us a rating, a fair rating. You know, don't be sheep and give us 5 stars. Be logical people and know that this is amazing and give us 5 stars. Make sure you put a rating on there, and you want to listen to the podcast. Why? Because this was crazy. We never make it a full hour without taking a break. We just did a full hour. That's insane.
Yeah, I think it was just sometimes just the natural flow of topics just fucking worked.
Well, the thing with like racist, like we got into a lot of racist type of talk.
Yeah.
You know, you can get lost in that forever because there's never 100% right ways.
There was not a time during the podcast where I wanted to murder you. And normally there's like a couple times where I'm just like, I want to fucking hit this dude. And I know it sounds fucked up. I'm not actually gonna fucking hit him, but like there wasn't really any strong disagreements. And every disagreement, I think we had like a good back and forth. It was good. It was good.
I still don't think giraffes are going to save us from a meteor hitting the
I just
planet
use
Earth.
that as an example. I'm just saying, like in all honesty, humans, we think we're the shit. We're really not.
You know, that's the best way to solve racism.
What?
Everybody breeding with everyone.
Pretty much.
There's no more races.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
That's awesome.
So,
fuck N-word. Oh, that's a joke, obviously.
What? Fucking N-word.
No, but think about like your idea that let's take time out.
Okay,
Go back
what?
to your idea that since everything came from wolves and made all these dogs, if we just crossbred all the dogs, it would go back to wolves. Is insane.
I don't think it's really that insane.
Wouldn't it become a more complex version of dogs?
Well, let me explain this to you, right? Let's say you have a giant dog, Great Dane, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say you have that breed with a Chihuahua. Yeah. All right. Now, that would probably kill the animal, but let's just say hypothetically...
I want to see that! I want to see, like, a Great Dane fucking a Chihuahua.
So, okay, let's say...
There's not videos of that?
Okay, let's say the Chihuahua is the male and that the Great Dane is the mother. So that would work, right? All right, so that works, right? Let's say that happens, right?
Better not fart.
All right. All right, what you're going to end up getting is you're probably going to end up with a dog that's like not small and not huge.
So it's a medium-sized dog. Yeah.
All right. Now, because Chihuahuas have short skin and Great Danes have short skin, or short fur, I should say, you're going to have a dog with short fur. All right. Now, let's say if you take a Saint Bernard, all right, with another little fluffy dog, all right, you're probably going to get the same thing, like a middle-aged fluffy dog. Now, let's say you take the fluffy dog, right, and you take the fucking short-haired medium-sized dog, and you make them breed, you're going to start getting closer eventually to a wolf.
No.
Yes.
No. Okay. Now, I just thought of something, okay? Why is it that people are getting bigger?
Why are people getting bigger? I don't know.
Okay. What I mean by that is it used to be back in like the 50s or some shit like that, right? Like the biggest.
Oh, well,
there's some freaks of nature that had like size 15 shoe, but it was like few and far between. Now, like shoe sizes have gotten bigger. People on the average are getting taller, and the big people are getting really big.
People started breeding with Bigfoot?
That's what I'm saying though. Like what? this is kind of a counter argument to what you're saying. Like, you know how many 7-foot tall people are on this earth, and there's way more 7-foot tall people on this earth than there were 50 years ago, 100 years ago. It used to be like a dude was like 4'5". Like way back in the day, they're talking about like when they talked about Jesus or whatever, they said he was like a 4-foot Jew. You know what I mean? So like,
he was a 4-foot Jew.
Well, no, that's he was a
and
Jewish
now like
person.
look at X Jaws. He's like 6 something.
Yeah, people are getting bigger. So based on your idea, if a huge Chihuahua fucks a huge Great Dane fucks a Chihuahua, they're gonna get medium size, right?
Right.
So like your idea, and this makes sense, right? If I'm 6'2" and I have a kid with like a 5-foot person, if everything goes right, they're gonna be halfway in between, right? It's not just like I'm just not gonna have like another 6-foot
Eventually, throughout time with a lot of breeding, yeah. Anyhow, we're getting way off of track. That is the end of the show. We are looking for sponsors. We're cheap and fair. If you'd like your website or your YouTube channel, promote it here on the Bad Kid Cast. Make sure you hit up either me or Blade on Twitter. If we don't respond, tweet again. We eventually will get a hold of you, DM you. Work out an awesome, fair deal. Thank you for listening to the Bad Kid Cast.
Bam.